Hello and welcome back to Tech and Talks Coffee Chat. Last time, Rolf and I explored how digital tools and AI are reshaping pharma sales, the evolving role of sales reps and what it takes to make the future ready. We wrapped up by questioning how pharma sales training should adapt for today's challenges. Today, we'll zoom out to discuss strategic commercialization and also market access. The industry uses a range of approaches from aggressive selling to science-driven advising. So what's the future of commercialization in pharma? We will also ask, why do so many launches fall short? Are our customer-facing teams truly prepared? And finally, what does gold standard training look like today? And how can maybe even AI boost the effectiveness of our field teams? So let's dive in. Commercialization philosophy differs across the industry. So like I mentioned, from hardcore selling, highly incentivized, over-orchestrated multi-channel approaches with manifold resources over a more scientifically advisory approach. Rolf, what's the future in this industry? What would you say?
Yeah, Martin, this is a very exciting and good question. Yeah. So we see different, let's say, philosophies so across the industry. And we see also, let's say, an evolvement over time. I think there are different sales cultures. Yeah? So we see in the meantime so that companies, they perceive their sales approach more as just sharing medical information. Yeah, instead of selling products, for good reasons. Because some of the pharma companies, so they came into conflict with compliance rules in the past. So and therefore then they switched gears. So from a selling model towards a type of just sharing information, medical information. So then we have others, so who perceive their models as more advisory models in the industry. So just being more or less the supporter, giving advice to the physician, but not only for the products, so even beyond the products, so helping the physician in an ecosystem to manage a patient. So this is this type of model. And then the third one is still, so when becoming more into, let's say, a generic environment where you have more tough competition, so then so you see more and more the typical sales force and sales-driven models being incentivized. What is the future of that? So I personally believe, so what we see right now is an increasing competition. So across the industry, what we see is price pressure all over the place. What we see is now in these actual times, the discussion around Trump's tariffs and trades. So also in the pharmaceutical industry. Then we still have a lot of funding issues, affordability issues in the far emerging markets. So therefore, I see many signals so that the competition will increase. So therefore, I still believe more or less we will see more and more, let's say, of these competitive models instead of advisory or just medical information models here in the future.
Yeah, I agree. Fascinating points about what is happening in the industry. So predicting the future direction, I'm sure requires like careful considerations of these different approaches. Now, given the complexity of now going to pharma launches as well and the variations in different commercial strategies, the effectiveness of the customer-facing org is in the end always paramount. So this leads me to consider why do many launches or some launches fall short, and what's the role of training in that? So why are certain expectations not met? Is the customer-facing org not trained well enough? Are they not educated to the point, or what do you say? What's missing in your opinion?
Yeah, I guess we need to be cautious here, so giving the right answer. And in most of the cases, I don't believe, so this is at least our observation, that it is up to the customer-facing organizations that they did not do a good job. So very often it has completely different background. What we need to see, and this is so what we recognize across the entire industry in the post-COVID era. So the peak sales for all the products are almost 20% below as the launches have been in the pre-COVID era. This is an interesting observation, and this has something to do with access to the physicians. The physician's role has changed during the 3 years, more or less, of that break, so to say. And so it has also something to do more or less with the frequency that a patient so uses the physician offices. So many patients have become hesitant and are not frequently more or less visiting physicians anymore. This led to a lower number of treatment and so on and so on. There's an entire cascade behind it. Then there are many other reasons, manifold other reasons, so why launches fail. It can be more or less that the clinical program is not or has not shown more or less what it should show, is not competitive enough. That health insurers do want to see other data, so that are not part of the clinical program. It can also be more or less that the investment level, so into the market in comparison to competition is too low. It might be marketing mistakes, positioning the product not in the right way. So that there are manifold reasons, but I would be hesitant. And quite often, it's just more or less, so to a limited degree, it is more or less the customer-facing organization outside, and in that sense, the sales force.
Very well said. And I think you would agree that in the end, this means that due to these circumstances, we need to stay adaptable. We need to see what's happening in the industry. How can we make sure that how can we react to these changes that come up? So what we want to do usually is we want to think about how can we still optimize the development of our customer-facing teams, of our field teams. So I think it's natural to also look towards best practices and also innovative solutions that are out there in the market. And this brings me to the concluding question now for today. What's the gold standard of training in the industry, and how can nowadays AI-supported training play a pivotal role to enhance productivity of face-to-face resources?
But I have to say, I don't like the word gold standard. I could not say there is a gold standard outside, but it's I would say it's the magical answer to find the right balance between sales excellence, between customer satisfaction, but also keeping up the motivation. So in a customer-facing organization, as high as possible. This means at the end, so apply every modern training standards that you might have, every methodology that enables a company to steadily increase quality, productivity, and also the performance in a sustainable way within a company. So therefore, so do it with modern technologies that you have, so with digital enablement, so with AI support, all these kinds of things, because this can make a company, this can make a customer organization only quicker, more productive, more efficient, more powerful, and at the end, so also more motivated.
Yeah, I think this just explores the potential of cutting-edge tech to elevate training effectiveness. And I think we can end it here today, Rolf. Thanks again for this insightful discussion and for your time today.
Thank you, Martin.
You're really welcome. And maybe on a last note to the audience in this case, feel free to reach out if you want us to cover a specific next time. We are always open to dive into specific topics that you're interested in as well. Take care.